Okay, so let's start with 5. Uh, how did you compile the list of schools? How did you, you can think of it as just how did you figure out where to apply?
Okay, so how to figure out where I applied. So really, because there's just so many colleges out there, I looked at every college that like seemed remotely interesting to me. And like every time I had a free period or in college counseling, if there was like a college visit, I would always just go to that college. And after I went to the visit, I would go home and look at the college website and read all about it. Then I'd go to like other websites and read all about that college. And then just like looking at everything about it, I I would usually get a feel for then, like for a feel for it by then. If I really liked it, then if I did like it, I would probably bring it up with like Miss Mitrovich during college counseling or a personal interview with Miss Mitrovich, and then she would we would talk more about the college, why I like it, and maybe if it or is not a great fit for me. And also like if your Miss Mitrovich also recommended some colleges to me based on my interests, and I found that very helpful. And in deciding what I wanted to do, like in terms of like majors and programs I was interested in, um, I really just knew kind of from the start that I wanted to do engineering, just because like of all the science classes I took and all the math classes I took, and I really enjoyed them. And my sister is an engineer in college, and everything she talks about it seems really interesting to me. And so, and also like last summer, I did an engineering thing at ASU. I performed research there at a lab, and that furthered my interest in engineering even more. So, I think for advice on that, I would if you're interested in a field, I would definitely try to reach out to someone or like someone like at ASU or maybe like a personal friend or like ask Miss Mitrovich like even before senior year, before you're trying to plan your SRP, and just like try to get into your field more then. And so if you do that, by the time you apply to colleges, you have a better feel for what you might want to major in and what other things you want to study.
Good, very good. Let's see. How about applying early versus applying regular? How did you make that decision?
Okay, so early versus regular. So firstly, I applied early decision to Duke University and I got accepted. So one benefit that I thought was like one direct benefit from that was I had no more stress after I got an early decision. Like every single one of my friends, like until like January 1st, they would talk about all the colleges they're applying to, all the work they have to put in. Then like even after that until like April, they're always like freaking out about colleges, and then after April they have to like decide where they have to go, which still can be really fun sometimes, especially like visiting colleges and getting accepted to a lot of colleges. But at the same time, like if you don't get in, it might be really stressful too. And also, so that's one benefit. And for me, the reason I decided to do early decision was really just because I visited Duke over fall break. So like 2 weeks before the early decision deadline, I visited Duke, and then after that, I decided to apply early just because I felt it was right. And that, and the way I thought about it was that if I got accepted to any other school, and I got accepted into Duke, that I would choose Duke over that school, or at least I had a really large case to choose Duke over that school. And that just made me feel a lot more sure about my decision to apply early decision.
Very good. Let's see. 610 is how did you track the status of your application?
Okay, so tracking statuses of applications. For me, I thought that was pretty simple. Simply like, because most colleges usually have their own portal website for applicants to go to, and within that portal, they usually have a tab or just listed there your application status, and if it says they have your decision, you like click on a button and you read what your decision is, or if not, just like it's in the process. So I think that whole process is pretty simple as a whole. It just might get a little confusing because there's if you apply to a lot of colleges, that means there's a lot of portals and a lot of accounts and a lot of passwords. So it usually helps just to like keep all those information somewhere so you don't have to click forget password every time.
How about 12, which was senior project? How did you find your senior project, and overall um, tips or reflections regarding the experience? How much trouble was it? How worthwhile and rewarding was it?
Okay, so about my senior research project. So I found my research project by continuing research I did over the summer, before my senior year, and to get my research position over the summer, I emailed a lot of professors at ASU, and like probably like 5 of them responded that offered me research positions. So basically, I just like walked through each of their labs, saw what each of their labs were about. Then I was able to choose which lab I did research in. So in the end, so when it came to my SRP, it was really simple to find my SRP. I just had to email my old mentor if he had a project for me, and he said yes. And so after that, I already had my SRP set. And yeah. Then in terms of how my experience has been over like the past 8 weeks now, I thought it's been really helpful. Like, because I already did that like research over the summer at the same lab, I already knew a lot of things about the lab. I knew a lot of basic procedures and all the rules and everything they're working with. So I was able to really jump in right away when I started my SRP without having to do a lot of background stuff. And then also I just really learned a lot more about my field, and I'm really interested in the field even more. And I think it's also fun reading about other people and what they're doing with their SRP. So I think it's really just great to be a part of it.
That's a great note.